Alright y'all, I'm going to go ahead and do a video tutorial since I will not be here for class on Friday. So you'll start off by hitting create new or new file, or up in the menu bar file new. Completely up to you. For this one I'm going to use a standard size. Feel free to use HD if you'd like. The only thing I'm looking for is that you change the frame rate to be 24 frames per second, and then the platform type ActionScript 3.0. And you're going to hit create. Okay, so with the brush tool, you're going to go ahead and draw a chocolate chip cookie. Make sure that you use a fill color of your liking. To change the different hue cube here, there's these little circles that you can also click on, and it'll change what you view over here. So see how this changes everything. So I want something like this, and you can copy the hex code if you'd like. And we have something like that. I'm going to go ahead and grab my paint bucket tool. You just have to make sure that everything's closed off. Paint bucket tool, fill it in. I can grab my free transform tool, box select everything, and kind of resize it for now. And I'll go ahead and do the chocolate chips now. I can actually do this darker. Alright, so something like that. You take your time creating yours if you'd like. Once you're done creating your chocolate chip, you're going to use your selection tool and box select everything. And you're going to convert this into a symbol by hitting right click and convert to symbol, or you can use the menu bar up at the top. You get this menu that pops up. We're going to name our symbol cookie and ensure that the type is a graphic and not a movie clip or button. And then you're going to hit OK. So now we have this blue box around our cookie, and if we come over to properties and hover over library, we see that this is a graphic symbol now. So what we want to do is go ahead and add multiple instances of this symbol onto our stage, and to do that you click on the little symbol icon and then drag it over, and you're going to drag multiple copies, and you're going to resize them. If you hold down the shift option and hover over this corner here, it'll resize proportionately, but drag just a bunch of symbols, maybe resize this original one. Rotate some of them too so they're not so uniformed. Okay, so now that you have a bunch of copies on your stage, you'll notice that there's still only one cookie symbol, and this helps your file size to be a lot smaller. So if you wanted to go back and make a change to any of these, you would only have to do it to the original symbol. So you can either double click on a cookie on the stage, or you can double click on this cookie symbol right here to bring up the symbol editing mode, or the symbols timeline. So if you see here, it tells you scene 1 and then cookie. Same thing, if you double click here, it says scene 1 and cookie, meaning this is the symbols timeline and not the main timeline. So up to you which one you want to do. I'm just going to double click on this here. And let's say that we want to add some, some white chocolate chip on there. So brush tool, hover over to properties, and let's change this to lighter chocolate. Okay. Okay, so now you're seeing in real time that all of the other cookies are also changing with any changes that we're doing here. Okay. So once you're happy adding those changes to the cookie, you're going to go back to your main timeline by hitting scene 1. And now you're in Animate's main timeline here. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to create a new symbol from the old symbol. To do that, you can just either come to library, right click, and hit duplicate, or you can right click anywhere on the stage as well and duplicate that. But I'm going to come here, hit duplicate, and call this one cookie bite. Make sure everything else stays the same. Right. Now let's go ahead and double click on the symbol right here. And we're going to go ahead and grab the eraser tool, properties, and we're going to say somebody took a bite out of this one, so it'll start off pretty small like this. And then we can go back to the main timeline, go back to library, use my selection tool, and let's say we'll click on this one, go to properties, and you could either hit this symbol, this icon here that says swap symbol, to switch it for the bite cookie, or you can do right click on stage and then swap symbol, select the cookie bite, and then hit OK. And let's swap out a couple of these two. Let's say this one. And this one. Okay. So if we substituted some of them now we're going to go ahead and animate the cookie bite symbol here. So let's double click on either the symbol in library panel or on the stage. Make sure it says scene 1 cookie bite, and we're going to keep animating this here. So I'm going to come over to frame 5 and I'm going to right click, insert keyframe, grab the eraser tool, and then erase a bit more of this cookie here. Right, then I'm going to go to frame 10, right click, insert keyframe, erase even more. Frame 5, insert keyframe, and we're going to go to frame 20. And let's say insert keyframe as well. You know what? I'm okay with, let's go ahead and do one more bite. All right. So if I hit play, that looks pretty okay here. So let's go ahead and return to the main timeline. And the thing about nested animations is that they reside within the symbols timeline. So if we come to the main one and hit play, nothing really happens because we only have one keyframe on there. So our cookies animation, or the cookie bite, was 20 frames. So we can come over to frame 20 here, right click, and hit insert frame. And now we'll see that the animation from the cookie bite actually plays on the main timeline too. So we can select this one here if we wanted to. And if you notice in the properties panel under object, you'll have some option called looping. And by default, it should be set to loop constantly, but you have different ones here. So that means that if I made my animation, let's see, 40 frames long, so insert frame, that just means that the animation will keep looping for said time. But all right, after you're done doing this, I want you to animate the other ones, possibly spinning, doing whatever you'd like. Before you submit it, for sure, change the background color. So to do that, remember you add a new layer, drag it to the bottom. I like to call this one background or BG. And then you could add a rectangle, the size of that background. That's one way. Probably the safest way too. So I don't want a stroke. Oops. Okay, we could go to the main timeline here, right? This cookies timeline, this is the regular one. You could add some rotation to this from the let me actually put it over here. From what you learn with classic tweens, oh, you can definitely make it rotate. We can actually make it rotate from here too if we wanted to, but this is basically what I'm looking for you guys to do is practice with nested animations. If you go to this cookie here and then do bites as well, you can submit that. But once you're done animating it, you're going to go to File, Export, Animated GIF, save it as a GIF, and then post it in the comment section of the nested animation discussion. Remember, you hit save, not done. If you don't see your background, you can uncheck transparency, and that should be it.